Hey, my name's John, and I hope you're doing well today. And today I want to talk about something more relaxing for a change. Actually, pretty much the definition of relaxing for some people, and that's traveling, or in particular, traveling with friends. Recently, I went on a long vacation to Japan for about 3 weeks, just traveling with some friends that I had known since high school. I've been planning this trip for quite a long time, actually, maybe around a year or so, and I think the trip went pretty well overall after having just gotten back about maybe 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to sort of think about the experience of just traveling with friends as a whole, both sort of the ups and downs with it, and see what I sort of liked and disliked about it the most. A bit of background. I did very little traveling before 2021. In fact, my first experience with it was being invited to go to Central Europe with one of my other friends. I was a bit skeptical at first. After all, I was sort of just comfortable being a homebody, and being in the middle of a pandemic, I didn't really go into it thinking that it was going to be that much fun. And to my surprise, I enjoyed it quite a lot. It really opened my eyes towards something that I thought was kind of just a waste of money and time before. And ever since then, I've been planning with trips with friends ever since. Anyways, so back to Japan. Our trip was originally for 3 weeks, so there was a lot of time to spend, and more importantly, a lot of places we want to go to. We went as a group of five, so you can imagine that planning the trip wasn't going to be super easy. Still, after a few nights of planning together, we settled on a rough itinerary. For three out of the five of us, it was their first time flying. We went through the typical tourist routes, cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, along with some smaller cities such as Okoyama and Kanazawa. And because we had such a large group, there were days where we split off to see what interested us individually. Some of my friends were really into Japanese pop culture, like, arcades, anime, you know the gist. While others were interested in just trying out some really good food. And for me, I personally really loved hiking and historical sites. We would spend most of our days together going to places, trying out the local food, and hanging out as friends. And before I knew it, the trip had been over in just a flash. Looking back, I think some of the fondest memories I have are with traveling with friends. And I think it's more than just the travel itself. Take for example, something as simple as riding a bike with some friends to go to the convenience store at night. Something that seems so mundane to people living there that it seems absurd that it would be so much fun. Sort of even more so as I'm writing a script for this and putting it into the actual words. But I think there really isn't a better example for my trip of trying new things and just having a good time exploring culturally what normal people do on the other side of the globe, all while just having some good company to explore with. I get that memories like these aren't necessarily related to travel, and yeah, I 100% agree with that. But I do think traveling makes it easier since it feels like it's a group event, giving something new for everyone to talk and experience about. Traveling with friends, has its ups and downs. For me, traveling with good company is great for a lot of reasons. It's often cheaper to book as a group. In our case, we just booked an entire apartment with an Airbnb, so it was really convenient and cheap. You get a sense of safety, not only because you have people that you can trust, but you also get a sense that you have people that can be relied upon for your day-to-day stuff, especially in countries with language barriers like Japan. And more importantly, I think just having friends that you enjoy hanging out with makes the experience of traveling and trying out new things so much more fun. Making memories, getting closer with others, I think while doing stuff like going to arcades and theme parks are cool. Being able to share that moment with your friends just makes it so much better. Of course, though, there are downsides as well, such as differing interests or personalities. Going back to Japan, part of our problem was that people were on different pages about what they wanted to do, and finding a compromise wasn't always so clear cut, especially in the beginning. I remember I wanted to visit Yokohama one day, which is sort of a port city that's south of Tokyo. However, my friends weren't super interested in visiting it as much as they were in seeing just more sights in Tokyo instead. And we weren't super comfortable in splitting off, and it wasn't until we did that compromises started being easy to make. Still, it felt like to me that it was a good way to sort of improve and strengthen your friendships. I guess there's no better way to do it through adversity, right? So, If you get a chance, I really recommend traveling with friends at least once in your life. It can be a fun, fulfilling, and rewarding experience to go and try something new. Either way. Anyways, thanks for listening. As always, thank you, and I'll see you next time.